This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh yeah, you know it's one of those things that it happens to me over time, and it's happened to me a couple times where I've got to go against the grain, but eventually, as I'm going against it, I take on the entire challenge, and eventually I turn them around. When they're all excited about Ndamukong Suh, I told them, slow down. That's a bad contract. Not worth it. Eventually, they all came around. Hassan Whiteside signs a big deal. I said, I understand what the Heat are doing, but disagree with it. I wouldn't give that guy the money. The rest is history. You know, this happens to me a lot. And Ryan Tannehill was that guy. I always said you don't take a project at number 8 overall in the draft. This is a guy that can never really put you over the top. He gets scatterbrained in key moments. But he goes to Tennessee, and he fools some of you into thinking that he was actually a real quarterback when he was a facilitator on his best day, and that's all he was, right? And those of you that went against me, and I went against the grain, I eventually turned you around. Well, apparently, people are now catching on, and they are now on the Tannehill bandwagon. There are plenty of ways to see an NFL team getting their shine, either through TV, viewership, social media metrics are often the best way to see a team getting hyped and how the general public is betting on them. There's also the exact opposite of that. Which teams are getting faded? Basically, this is where someone is taking the opposite side of a bet. So rather than the team betting on a team to make the playoffs, you can bet on them to miss the playoffs. There's one team who's receiving plenty of action not to make the playoffs. That team is the Tennessee Titans. Bets have been rolling in on the Titans to miss the playoffs. Not only do the Titans have the most tickets and money to miss the playoffs this coming season, they also have the 5th most money to have the worst record. To add insult to injury, they also have the fewest bets on them to win the AFC South. That's amazing. Fewest tickets to win the AFC South, even behind the Texans. 5th most money to have the worst record. Most tickets, money to miss the playoffs at Caesars Sportsbook. Ryan Tannehill. It's a scar. It's a deep scar. It was a lot of sleepless nights. Every time I closed my eyes, I was rewatching the game in my head. Scatterbrain. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep for weeks and weeks after the game. I was in a dark place, and it took me a while and a lot of work to get out of it. You know, it was something that went away. That wasn't something that went away easily. And it's still a scar that I'll carry me throughout the rest of my life. Not really what I want to hear from my quarterback. But then again, he's not my quarterback. So it's nice to see that folks are making the right business decisions when it comes to the Tennessee Titans. Nice to see those of you that went against the grain, you are now following it. That's your KSDT Sports Business Report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.